Welcome to the Structure Management System video training series. In this video, I'm going to discuss an in-progress inspection within the substructure form. Looking at the navigation pane on the top right-hand side, and I'll select Forms, and the appropriate forms will be cascaded down. You'll notice I have substructure selected. For a complete inventory of substructure items, inspectors may select the substructure inventory items for complete inventory. The subheadings can be expanded or collapsed based off what the inspector wants to view or navigate to in order to simplify the navigation process. I'm going to collapse this navigation pane, and it will expose the inventory shortcuts. The inventory shortcuts are select inventory items that are most popular or most updated or most changed, or their equations that populate the total quantity. In the substructure form, the inspector is able to answer three basic questions. What is there? How much of it is there? And what is its condition? Based off what the inspector's coded in the inventory, will either hide or display elements on the left-hand side, and any item that has an asterisk next to it denotes that this is an element display trigger. Total quantity is either populated from equations from the inventory shortcuts, or the inspector is welcome to refine based off what's actually there. So for example, abutment walls, the equation is deck out to out multiplied by 2 multiplied or divided by the skew angle. Inspectors are encouraged to take this linear foot for integral wing walls to take it to the first construction joint or to the end of the wing wall. So inspectors may have to add quantities into the total quantity. That's how much is there. The condition rating answers what is its condition. Condition rating is a 1, 2, 3, 4 based off the overall condition of the element being coded. The red box, the red border indicates which box the recommended value is keying on. And so the inspector is given the abutment walls a 2, and the recommended is going to be within the acceptable range of a 5 or a 6 on the 9 scale. And the intent is only to help the inspector code this 9 through 0 item. The inspector is still able to go outside of the range in the recommended based off of field conditions or the location of the specific deficiencies, or whether or not the overall is different from one controlling span. This condition can be answered one of two ways: condition rating, which I just described, or element level rating. So I switch to element level substructure form for the same bridge. You'll notice we still have the total quantity, but instead of the drop down 1, 2, 3, or 4, we have states 1, 2, 3, 4 stratified left to right, where the inspector types in quantities within each state. And these quantities are based off of the units to the right of the element text. The state quantities can be placed in with the actual quantity, or percentage based off whatever's the easiest way for the inspector to communicate what's actually present on the structure. Transition rating to the right is the intent is only to help the inspector see what they probably would have coded it using condition rating. And for the purposes of this form, I'm going to switch back to substructure condition rating form and talk about each element. Abutment walls is a linear foot, that's linear feet along each abutment wall. Abutment columns or bents is an each, that's each abutment column or bent that is visible. These are not that common on our inventory. And those items that are either coded with a condition rating that are not there, or with a quantity and that element is not there, inspectors are encouraged to zero these out and blank out the rating where elements are not present. For example, abutment caps is a linear foot. In this structure, just looking at a photo, does not have an abutment cap. And abutment seats, although present in the BRD6 format, we're getting rid of abutment seats in this portion, that shelf, that horizontal shelf, and the vertical face. That whole portion is considered the abutment wall. So there are no caps on this, and the seats are included within the abutment wall rating. So abutment caps will be zeroed. Pier columns or bents, looking again at the structure image. This is a hammerhead type pier. It has a linear foot of a wall below the cap, and it has a pier cap. Pier cap measured from out to out along the skew, and the pier wall is that portion below the cap, linear foot. So there are no pier columns or bents. This will be zeroed out. Pier walls is the linear foot of that wall portion below the cap, times 4. And it is and will remain a linear foot. Pier caps, the equation is the out to out times the number of piers divided by the skew. So where this needs to be adjusted, where the pier extends beyond the out to out or is shorter or smaller than the out to out, inspectors should adjust the total quantity. The back walls are also linear foot, and the equation is the same as the abutment walls. Wing walls are, when we transition in, it will be linear foot. 2014, later on in 2014, this will be switched to each, and most structures have 4 wing walls. Scour is currently a linear foot. It will be changed to an each, and it will be each substructure unit when there is a channel underneath the structure. Slope protection is currently linear foot. It will be changed to each as well. Most structures that have a protected slope will have 2 protected slopes. In order to supplement your condition rating, inspectors are encouraged to type text, or if there's legacy text values in the current BMS, inspectors can decide to highlight, copy, and paste, or they can start fresh and type in new text. In order to navigate to the next form, to continue the inspection process, the inspector simply selects the navigation pane arrow if it's not open and navigates to the next appropriate form.